Hello, my friends. Today, I'll be telling you the tale of Spider Island, as related to me by Bill the Babbling Bard. This tale contains a lot of good information. How true it is, I cannot say. Where he got it from, no one knows. Now let's see what he had to tell me. Long ago, before the world knew prophecy, and before the winds carried whispers of doom, there was a child, one of no great name or station, who wandered too far, with eyes bright with wonder. They crossed the distant island's emerald shores, chasing the calls of hidden birds and hush of unseen waters. But the land was eternal, and its bones were deep, and as the child stepped where none had stepped before, the ground shuddered beneath their feet. With a cry, swallowed by the cavernous dark, they fell into the mouth of the abyss, where no sun would ever shine. Days turned to nights, nights turned to something less. The child wept at first, for the blackness had stolen their sight. But when their tears had dried, they spoke, not to themselves, but to the stones, to the airs, to the roots that clawed down from above, and something deep within listened. Taranox stirred in its slumber, and felt the child's heart, unmarred by despair, untainted by hatred. It whispered to them, through the tremors of the rock, through the shuddering of roots stretching downward. The roots bore fruit for the child to eat. The cracks in the cavern ceiling wept water into their hands. And the child, though sightless, was never ungrateful. They thanked Taranox with each bite, each drop. They did not curse their fate. They did not rage at their solitude. And in that kindness, Taranox saw something rare, something powerful. Thus they granted them a gift. Where light had abandoned them, vision bloomed in their mind. They saw not with eyes, but with knowing. They saw what had been and what might be. They saw time as the river sees the shore, touching all, but claiming none. Then one day Taranox whispered, "A creature comes for you. Do not fear it. It is neither light nor dark, neither cruel nor kind. It is a simple weaver, and it will lift you from this place." The child heard a soft rustling. They reached out and felt the silk of a great web. Blind and trusting they climbed, pulling themselves towards the sky. With the wind on their face and the sun at last upon their skin, they named the island after the one who had delivered them. Thus Spider Island was born, and the child, now known as the Oracle of Purity, wandered no more. There's a second story. This one not as kind as the first. The tale of the other. But there is another tale, spoken in hushed voices, carried only by storm winds and restless tides. For the oracle was not always alone in the abyss. They had fallen with another, a friend, bound by childhood laughter and shared wonder. But where one kept their heart untainted, the other's heart grew heavy with fury. They screamed at the darkness, spat at the stones, and tore at the roots that fed them. They did not thank Taranox for its hospitality. They cursed the unseen for its cruelty, and Taranox, though wise, does not command the hearts of mortals. As their rage deepened, so did their power. It festered and boiled until their very form could no longer hold it. They became something else, something untethered, a wraith of wind, a whisper of chaos. The abyss could no longer hold them, and the chasm expelled them like a storm casting forth its fury. They rose with the wind, higher, higher, until they are nothing but a specter in the sky. The oracle, though blind, felt the loss. They reached out, called for their friend, but there was no voice left to answer, only a cold wind brushing their face, hollow with something once human. From that day the world knew two unseen forces, the oracle, who saw what others could not, the other, assuming the name Cacophony, drifting across the edges of reality, drawn to chaos, unbound by time. Thus the world was forever marked by one who listens to fate, and one who laughs at it. A powerful tale. Again, all credit goes to Bill the Babbling Bard. I've met Cacophony, and briefly met the Oracle. So far, the tale seems to hold true in their personalities. Cacophony is all rage and a storm. But she also wields necromancy and wants to destroy with her power. I can't get behind that. Now, the Oracle, I've only heard her speak once, so I can't really give a great opinion on her, other than that she seems to be a friend, an ally, and I want to know more. I feel like I need to know more. Anyhow, thanks for listening to the tale. I'll see you later.